I'm seeing a lot at the moment about the impact of the workplace on the mental health of HR professionals. Now, I've got a very different take on this. And this perspective that I have, my point of view on this, is based not only on the thousands and thousands and thousands of one-to-one sessions that I've held with individuals, but it's also based on my own experience of working as an HR professional for over a decade. Because we often have this misunderstanding that the way that we feel is coming from somewhere else. It's coming from our external environment. It's coming from an email that you received. It's coming from a redundancy meeting that you had to co-chair. It's coming from a board meeting. It's coming from a discussion with an employee. It's coming from trade unions. It's where I used to think all my feelings were coming from, conversations with trade unions. It's coming from any number of places. But actually, that's not true. Because what is creating your experience moment to moment to moment, without exception, is your own inner reality, your own map and model, the conditioning that you're living your life through, the lens, the filter, the perceptual filter. And that perceptual filter, that conditioning, isn't just about the neural circuitry in your brain, it's also the conditioning in your autonomic nervous system. And your autonomic nervous system is your body's communication highway. And so when we think about these situations that we find ourselves in, and we find ourselves experiencing a level of emotional arousal, what the brain does is it looks outside to say, why do I feel the way that I feel? And it creates a link. So it creates an association with another person, with a particular task, with an email, with a conversation, with any number of things. But answer me this, if that was true, if our feelings, the way that you feel, was coming from these situations, then why is it once the situation is over, once the conversation has finished, you've walked away, why is it still impacting you later that day? Why, when you get home, are you still going over and over the conversation in your mind? Why the next day do you wake up and you're still experiencing those feelings? Well, that's pointing to something. That lets you know that the way that you feel is not coming from your external environment. It's coming from our reaction to the situation based on our conditioning, based on the conditioning of our autonomic nervous system, based on how regulated the autonomic nervous system is. Now, it seems in the moment that the way that we feel is coming from somewhere else, and that's because of something called consciousness. And what I teach in HR Alchemy, which is specifically for HR teams, is about how to raise your levels of consciousness, how to transcend these conditioned habitual responses so that you can have a very different experience. So if you are an HR professional, you are ready to raise your levels of consciousness, you want to understand more about what is creating your experience in any given moment, I invite you to download my HR activation from survival to energetic sovereignty, and I will see you on the other side.